Just another Monday morning. Coffee's brewing, sun is rising. Got some stories up my sleeve about this crazy life I lead. Welcome to the Brentocast, where each week flies by so fast. Pull up a chair and stay a while. Life's better with a smile.
It is 2025, January the 3rd, and God is so good. Like you need a guy like me to tell you that, but it is so true. I have tried multiple times to do this first podcast of the year and found myself wanting for a better representation of just all that's going on. It's been an incredible last 30 days. Why, you may ask, and I'm here to tell you. I got the idea that I didn't want to roll into January like I always do, going, man, I'm going to lose weight. I got to lose weight. You know, the situation with my mom is well documented on this podcast. She's still hanging in there, but she keeps getting pneumonia and things of that nature. And it's so hard for her to actually, have them get her up out of the bed and, roll herself around and try to have like some sort of normal awake time, that she spends a whole lot of time in bed. And unfortunately that leads to all kinds of issues like colds and pneumonia. Multiple times she's had that now. In fact, she's just getting over it right now. They had to take her to the hospital yesterday. But over time, witnessing this gradual decline, it got me thinking, I'm not as fat and overweight as I think I am, although I'm probably legitimately 100 pounds overweight, maybe more. My time, the sun is not set on my time yet. And I begin to think I should go ahead. I have the money to do it. I should go ahead and find a trainer that's the right guy, somebody my size, and somebody that's doesn't mind helping me sort of cheat code this to lose at least 50 pounds before I get too serious about building muscle. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have some massage clients that go to this new place called H4 Fitness. It's owned by a local guy called Chris Watson, and I've been hearing lots of good things for a while. They do a group workout. He had that going for years before he started his gym, and I actually came close to going to these group workouts several times, but I just thought, I'm so out of shape. It's hard to motivate yourself to be around people. I did not enjoy the CrossFit experience that I had. But anyway, long story short, I go over there, and he goes, I'm not going to be the one working with you. I've got a guy that's more your size, and I think can get you where you want to be faster, and something to that effect. I mean, it was no big discussion. I just go over there, and he goes, I'm going to put you with this guy, and he introduces me to a fellow named Todd Garman. Now, you're going to hear me talking about Todd a lot going forward, particularly for the next year, because I don't know, man. He kind of assessed my situation, and he says to me, what is most important to you to achieve? What is your immediate goal? And I said, as simply as I can put it, I'm in a size 48 jean, a particular size, because it's not the fat boy size, it's the regular fit 48, which is hard in a Wrangler jean. And it's hard to find that. You have to get online. You can't always find it on Amazon, so you definitely can't find it in Walmart on the regular. I said, my goal is to get my body to a size that I can walk into Walmart, any Walmart in America, and pick out a pair of jeans that fit me without too much having to struggle to find it, because that size is all out. He goes, we can make that happen. He goes, we're going to use a cheat code on you, and I got one word for you: fasting. How do you feel about it? I says, well, I fasted before. It didn't strike me as all that hard. I just didn't see any big results. So he proceeds. Now, mind you, this dude, when I say that Todd is yoked, he is extremely muscular, and I'm sure he got there over many, many years of hard work. From the waist up, I visibly cannot see any sign of any fat on the man. And I said, man, you're 54, and you're kind of big too. How do you do this? He goes, I only eat once every 3 days, lots of times. And I said, what? It sounded crazy to me. He said, listen, the cheat code is intermittent fasting. First, he suggested that I fast for 12 hours and then have a reasonable meal and eat in a 4 to 5 hour window. I thought, okay, I can do this. So I did it, and what I found was even the very first night that I fasted for 12 hours, I think I might have went 14 hours that first time, my appetite was dramatically decreased. 4 or 5 bites into the meal, and I'm already going, man, I'm full. This is crazy. Like, I haven't even ate a whole steak or whatever. Like, I'm not even like halfway into a 12-ounce ribeye, and I am really stuffed. So that struck me. And also, I didn't get hungry. While I was waiting for that time to be up. I timed it so that I would have my last meal about 4 or 5 in the evening. I knew from the jump, not so much what I eat, but the fact that we go home after working late or whatever, and we'll be laying down to watch TV about 10:30, and sometimes I would have, something small, not a lot, but whatever we had was going on top of what I had for my dinner at 7 or 8. So, it was not, that I was filling my stomach up. I was just adding food to food that was already in there. And I thought maybe this is why I'm not, able to lose weight, even when I try to change what it is I'm eating during the day. Sure enough, cutting out those snacks at night made me less hungry the next day when I would wake up. So the average day now, I'm basically eating a meal probably lots of times between 2 and 5. I try not to eat later than 5 or 6. In some cases where she wants to go out, the wife, to some special thing, I can eat later. I just make a really long fast and get back around to that correct time the next day. Like, for example, today I haven't eaten in 26 hours and 36 minutes. I could have ate in the afternoon, but I thought, hey, I know what tomorrow's going to be. I'm not going to get a chance to eat until about 4 o'clock tomorrow. And tomorrow will be a shorter fast. I'll just do like an 18 to 20 hour window where I'm not eating. But anyway, so I started doing this, and I literally felt good, really good from the first day. Usually if I'm doing a detox where it's a restrictive diet, I'll get headaches really bad on the second day. I did get a mild headache that kind of came and went, and then I got a little bit of just an inkling of a headache kind of behind my nose about 6 o'clock that evening. Went right away, didn't worry about it. So just carried on. And after day 2, I literally never had any other bad feelings. I've had slight hunger, but the thing about it is when you're on a fasted system, hunger doesn't linger. It doesn't hang around. And so I do this for 2 weeks. I'm immediately struck that I'm losing weight. It just feels like I'm losing weight. And 2 weeks in, I felt like maybe I had lost 10 pounds. This is comparable to what I lost when I had COVID. For over 3 weeks. I lost 22 pounds, which came right back. It's because I was probably eating about 500 calories a day on those sick COVID times. But it came right back, because that was just sort of a dehydration situation. But anyway, my point being, I was feeling a whole lot better than that. The weight loss happened faster. So I thought, let me go to the next level. And we discussed all along I was going to do workouts with Todd as well, but I didn't start those until 2 weeks in. I said, let me get accustomed to the fast. By this point, I'm telling him, hey, Todd, I can do 18 hours, no sweat. He goes, that's awesome. Do it. He goes, maybe one time a week, try to do a 24-hour. So I do that. And, I said, I'm just having steak and broccoli. He goes, don't worry about that. He goes, you're in such a calorie deficit fasting this way that you can eat whatever you want. Just, don't let the window go over like 4 hours. I said, okay, 4 hours. Usually I have that one meal and I am completely stuffed for the next 6 hours. Completely stuffed. So what I've started doing is, if I stop before I'm completely stuffed with that one meal and I have a little bit of bandwidth to eat, I'll just have like a smoothie. We have some extremely clean protein. In fact, I challenge you to find cleaner protein anywhere here at Albemarle Nutrition, our nutrition store. So I typically do one meal a day sometime in the afternoon, and then I'll have one smoothie before it gets too late to 4 or 5 or whatever. And I'll take the men's multivitamin pack here also from Albemarle Nutrition, which just has everything that you need in a day just to make you feel good. Have that. I have felt like $1,000,000. I mean, I really don't even know how to not just seem like I'm putting too fine a point on it, but I have really, really felt good. I haven't felt like this was that much of a challenge. Like today is my first 30-hour fast, and I'm almost there. Like by the time I stop working, I'll be there. It'll be time to eat. Yeah, it's incredible. For right now, I mean, obviously I'm over 100 pounds overweight, so there's that. And I think a lot of people out there aren't as overweight as me, and they're probably going to need to be cleaner when they actually do eat. In my case, I try to keep it reasonable. I don't have, cake and pie and things like that. Maybe I'll have something like that once a week, but it's not ever like a focus, and usually like one bite or two bites like Prince might eat, you know what I mean? But I have had the experience of that, just a bite satiating me, not really wanting the whole thing. And beyond that, probably second week, I didn't have anything crazy, So back in the day when I wasn't eating on this fast and I didn't have the shrunk stomach, like let's say I have Indian food, but it doesn't happen to be Indian food with rice. I love Indian food, by the way. The other day I had a dish that was just cauliflower, and it filled me up so much. Actually just kind of kept my stomach happy till late in the night, Things like that didn't happen before when I wasn't on a fasted system. So anyway, the workouts come in. And the first workout we do was a total body workout. And, he was assessing me, and I could kind of tell. But, I definitely broke a sweat. And he goes, you're not as out of shape as you think. It's your cardio. Your cardio will come up fast. And sure enough, within 2 weeks, my cardio starts coming up. He has me on the treadmill at the beginning, at the end, and in the middle. And by the way, I should mention, these are not these little piddly Annie 25-minute workouts that you might get at some gyms. I could name a gym. I'm not going to do that because I'm still friends with them. But prior to working with Todd, all of my experiences with trainers have been at a single gym, and those all were very expensive, like to the tune of $42 back in the day, maybe more now, and it was like a 25, maybe 30-minute workout. This is double that length. We always exceed an hour by a little bit. And the workouts are really significant. With that much time, you got time to rest for 2 minutes. All right, drink a bottle of water, that sort of thing. But anyway, so the second workout, I'm thinking going in there, he goes, I want you to come into this workout fasted. So I go into that workout. By the way, I'm doing these on Mondays. It seems like a great way to kick the week off. And also it's easy to line up my fast to have a longer fast that day. I'll eat a little bit later on Sunday. Well, anyway, I go into this second one and thinking it's going to be a full body workout because I'm fasted. He knows I'm fasted. He knew I was fasted, but it was a leg day. And that whooped my butt. I'm not going to lie. That I was walking funny when I got out. But then I went, and I had that meal, had that steak afterwards. It was amazing. So again, the whole time I'm getting stronger. I'm feeling like I'm losing weight. So anyway, we do another one of those. This is another full body workout, only it's much harder than the first full body workout. And I am literally dripping the sweat. And then I go and I have a fourth one. So I had a fourth workout with Todd. So I've had, in 6 weeks, I've had 4 workouts. And I'm going to kick that up to 2 workouts with him and one workout based on what he's showing me on my own. So, I didn't want to. A big problem I've had with all kinds of diets in the past is just jumping into it really, really gung-ho if it's jiu-jitsu or whatever it is, and I want to do it 3 or 4 times a week, and I'll be super sore, and then I'll experience burnout. And my family, they really give me crap for this. My brother and my mom, everybody. Oh, you won't stick with it, So I thought, let me just phase in on this, so maybe I can see some success before there's any sense of burnout. And sure enough, that's exactly what I did, just with the fasting for the 2 weeks. And again, the whole time I'm thinking, man, I can do this. It's not hard. I can totally do this. As long as the results come, I can do this, and it won't be tough. So eventually, and another thing, I didn't weigh precisely when I started. I knew what my weight was. Generally, I knew what my peak weight had been. And for 5 years, I've been trying to get down. And so I had a number in my mind that I thought my weight was, but I really knew that I had gained some weight because my clothes were fitting tighter. And I probably was in the worst shape of my life, actually, when I decided I was for real going to do this fasting thing, like indefinitely. So anyway, finally, January 1st, we were on vacation, sort of, and I planned on weighing in for the first time at the end of this 35-day period. And the place did not have a scale. So we ended up waiting to the next day. So it was technically 36 days. I weighed in, and I was lower than I have been in the last at least 8 or 9 years. And I weighed in at 321.4 pounds. And just to verify the result, I went to our scale, and I also went to Planet Fitness. Our scale weighed me 1 pound lighter at just 320 pounds. Now, I haven't been beneath 324, 323, like in about, like I said, almost a decade. And that puts me in striking distance to 300 pounds. Now, when I get to be 300 pounds, what little athleticism that I do have really tends to show itself because I'm big, but I'm not slow. So with jiu-jitsu, that's always been the sweet spot. If I was around 300, it was all good. If I was much over 300, I tended to hurt myself. So it's been kind of holding me back. I tried to make a comeback to jiu-jitsu about 3 years ago, heavyweight, really, really heavy. Not quite as heavy as I was before I started this, but probably around 328, 330. And I kept hurting myself. And I just was like, hey, man, I can't do this as a hobby if it's going to take me out of commission. So my commitment to myself and to everybody is that the Soul Smasher will return to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu if I crack 300 pounds. And now I'm ready to push a little bit harder because I've really normalized fasting. For me, it doesn't feel like a chore. It just feels like how I eat now. So I'm going to give myself 6 weeks to try to get under 300 pounds. I've talked to Todd about this. He's developing a strategy, and I think we can do it. And once that happens, if I get below 300 pounds, the day that I weigh below 300 pounds, I'm going back to jiu-jitsu, and not just the one jiu-jitsu that I used to go to. I'm going to diversify my training. There's 2 places that I want to train at, and that'll be the beginning potentially of a new era of hobby craft for me, because y'all know jiu-jitsu used to be my life. I used to travel across the U.S. and do these tournaments, and I even won at like some national tournaments and stuff, and that was in a more difficult weight age category because I was like 35, 36 then. Now I am in a very favorable age category, but if I can be fit-ish at 55, man, let me tell you, I have never been to a big tournament where I saw somebody at this age that I didn't think I could handle, even then, right? And now I'm going to be like at a peak of physical fitness where, at least for me, where I'll be at a real good fighting weight where I can still use my size, and I'm always a top game player anyway. So, I know Phil, shout out Phil Kirby. I know you're not listening, but if you were, you need to tell those little skinny dudes they better up their game, because it's going to be gi time. I'm going to be smashing and passing, believe that. But only if I get below 300. So give me your prayers and your best wishes, because I'm about to push this really hard. Now, as for the Brentocast podcast, obviously none of the silly virtual hosts this week, even though I did create a version of that and I just wasn't happy with it. It just didn't feel like a proper recap. I do want to touch on a little bit of sad news. We've lost our beauty who lived with us for 8 years and was just an amazing friend and pet. And, Delilah took that really hard. That was her first real dog. And I'm talking about wailing and screaming hard. So the Lord, in his infinite wisdom, brought another little guy into our life. And now Delilah has 3 dogs once again. This time there's a chunky little thing called Nacho that lives with her. And I essentially rescued him from having been dumped out down there by the landfill. And let's hope for his continued good health, because he's really working out. He was trained and already, neutered, so it was really strange that somebody would have dropped him out. But he is the coolest little dog. He really loves riding. He really, really obsesses over me somewhat, but he's super tolerant of Delilah and the little dog, so he's just fit right in. And I like the idea of them having a bigger dog, where if somebody did intend them harm, they could take a chunk out of their behind, and I believe he's that dog. So it's just kind of amazing. He kind of came up starving on the porch down there 2 or 3 days before Beauty passed. And, we kind of saw it coming. I had my time with Beauty. I was able to spend some extra time with her and hold her and talk to her and get my final photos with her, which you can check out on my Facebook page. I'll probably put something on BrentBowers.com as well about that. In a nutshell, that's what it'd be like, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the new theme song. There's a lot of music happening, but I'm not going to get into specifically in this episode, mainly because of time, where it's a working evening for us, so we got to go over to our friends at GHA and do some work tonight. And then, I'll be looking forward to that first meal coming up on 30 hours. So man, I'm just super optimistic. The country feels like it's super optimistic with a new administration coming in with a proven track history of improving all of our living conditions. God is good, man. When you're down, He's good when you're in the valley. He's good when you're on the mountain. I'm going to start all of my podcasts that way because I just feel like I have personally been blessed so much more than I deserve. And it feels like creatively all aspects of my life right now are at a high point. Like I'm collaborating with my good friend, and really, like, truly, if a person ever had a musical partner, Harrison Foreman is my musical partner. In a lot of ways, I feel like Eddie Snuggs is my musical partner as well. But Harrison and I hope I never see a time that I have to write music without him. That's how much I think of his ability and just his commitment to making good original material. Now, in addition to Harrison right now, I'm blessed to have in my life Terrell and Sonny and Tim in my live band, The Justified, and I think we're going to have a really special couple shows this year. We're working up to our performance at Arbor Day, and I am on bass, which is really different from most of that show, and it's a little bit of a challenge to play bass and sing, but it's kind of expanding my brain in weird sort of ways. Oh, lastly but not leastly, I finally talked Mark Woodward, my good friend locally here and a bit of a musical genius and piano guru, into selling me a Baldwin Studio L full grand piano that's going to live at my house. He has 3 such pianos sitting in his house at various sizes, but there's one particular one that when I sat down and played it, I thought, I've never played a better feeling or sounding piano than this. And then he goes on to educate me that particular model is considered by piano nerds to be the biggest sound for the length. It's 6'4", made in 1998 when Baldwin was still completely onshore, and really, really quality pianos. So I've been looking at that, thinking about that, and just every now and then I'd say, hey man, when are you going to sell me that piano? And finally he goes, and I know that like it was a thing probably where he was going to like just work on it and obviously make more money. It doesn't behoove him to sell it to his friend at a friend price, right? But eventually he said, okay, when are you going to buy this piano? And I was like, I'll be right there. So, but I still had to prepare my space for it, actually. It's going to maybe be a few weeks until I get that done and figure out which room it's going to go in, because I don't ever want to move it. Anyway, I could talk and go on about that, but the one silver lining to Mom being in Trinity is that I play their Chickering grand piano over there, and it's very nice. Actually, I got to play a restored Chickering grand piano in Salisbury that was even nicer, and this one that I bought is even nicer than both of those still. I mean, like, it is at I can't even, like, I'm just going to geek out on it, so I'll save that for later. But things are going great, and if I stay on this trend, when I weighed in, I lost 30 pounds in 35 days, and if I stay on this trend and I even lose half of that every month going forward, within a year's time, I'm going to be at my goal. And that could be just incredible. And I don't see myself going back to 3 meals a day. I don't think a guy my size needs to eat 3 meals a day, unless I were like, in a super menial job where I'm lifting all the time. I can't see myself eating that much food again. So, let's just say that I did eat 3 meals, if I'm only eating a meal every 30 hours, that's like just under 6 meals per week, right? So imagine that you're having 6 meals per week. Like, you're not even having a meal every day if you stretch it to 30 hours. And I actually think I can do that. And there's people that I know walking around looking lean. I mean, super lean, like Todd. And I'm like, man, will it just fall off like that? I don't know. I think maybe the last 40 pounds might be a whole lot harder, and I have to be particular about what I eat in addition to fasting and working out more. But we will see. Time will tell. The head is right, and I feel like that's the most critical component. It's like your greatest weapon is your brain. Your spirit and your brain have to want what you're after. And once that happens, you're always stronger than you think you are. Your body will always do more, run further, last longer, be slower to quit than your brain. So you just have to remember that with your focus and your intentionality. But I feel like something's happening right now. There's a revolution going on with me. So this is going to be episode 67 of Brentocast. It'll be more of a standard episode next time. Hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for listening.